Als je hem andere mist, wordt het leuk.
Pekné štvrtkové popoludne z Vispu. Po malých technických problémoch sa hlásime už aj z druhého kanála so slovenským komentárom na začiatku štvrťfinálového zápasu Slovenska proti Spojeným štátom americkým. Sme sledovali obrovskú šancu na strane Spojených štátov. Naši chlapci dnes bojujú v najdôležitejšom zápase slovenského hokejbalu za ostatné 2 roky o postup do semifinále. Dubnický teraz prikrýva. Verme, že teda tieto technické problémy máme za sebou a už vám budem môcť prinášať slovenský komentár. Pre anglický komentár samozrejme si môžete zmeniť zvukové nastavenia, respektíve jazykové nastavenia, ale teda ja budem rád, ak zostanete verní môjmu komentáru. Poďme na hraciu plochu. Je 43. sekunda začiatku zápasu. Naši reprezentanti teraz môžu ísť dopredu. Martin Usík nachádza tam Pobudu. Marek Pobuda v útočnom pásme sme sa usadili, ale Američania tam dobre pracujú. Nick Carter teraz oslobodil svoj tím. Budeme sa musieť rýchlo vrátiť dozadu, ale tam máme jedného z najrýchlejších hráčov Šatku, takže tento bezpečne stihol pred Američanom Johnson. Zostavy si prezradíme v najbližšom prerušení, pretože teraz by sme sa asi radšej chceli venovať hre. Môžem ale aspoň povedať, že v našej bráne začína dnes 33. Tomáš Dubnický, na strane Američanov Andrew Carter s číslom 45. Takže aspoň brankárov sme si stihli predstaviť, ku útočným formáciám sa dostaneme, keď to situácia umožní. Teraz musíme naháňať loptičku, Tomečko tam je prvý, posiela to zadovkou na druhú stranu na zelenku, ten je po zdravotných problémoch naspäť pripravený pomôcť našim chlapcom. Stretnutím vás budem teda sprevádzať ja, moje meno je Andy Nemček a rozhodcovia tohto stretnutia taktiež, predstavme si aj ich, sú to Česi Michal Záhora a Martin Černý. Poďme rýchlo na zostavy, naše obranné dvojice, Minárik Gajdoš, Šulík Sobol, Tomečko Zelenka, Revaj Salajka. Útočné formácie. Hryzák, Korbáš, Straka, Vozár, Pijak, Oravec, Martinusík, Šatka, Pobuda a 4. útok Teplický, Štefánka, Olejník. 13. útočník Takáč a 9. obranca Cifranič. Po americkej zostave sa dostaneme zakrátko. Teraz Američania po vhadzovaní sú nasťahovaní za našou bránou. Bol tam teraz zákrok, ktorý zaváňal faulom a píska sa, ale nie je tento zákrok, ale nedovolené postavenie útočiaceho hráča v bránkovisku. Teraz to českí rozhodcovia prerušili, aj keď sme už mali my loptičku v moci, ale nám to asi nevadí, aspoň môžeme dostriedať. Poďme rýchlo na americkú zostavu, už som spomínal, v bráne Andrew Carter, obranné dvojice Dutney Albright, Drew Albright teda, lebo ešte jeho brat hrá v útoku. Druhá obrana Melilo, Nick Carter, 8 Bergamasco, teda tretia obrana 8 Bergamasco, 88 Andis. No a Američania hrajú len na 3 obrany, takže poďme si predstaviť útoky. Prvý útok Jordan Albright, Johnny Ruiz, Nikola Levesk. Druhý útok Brandon Jones, Corey Wilson, Corey Fredrickson. Tretí útok Brandon Perischetti, Vinny Tuminello, Brandon Krause a 4. útok Scott Wargin, Eddie Urban a Mike Malloy. Toľko teda zostavy, poďme do hry. Teraz môžeme ísť do protiútoku. Olejník po ľavej strane, ale je tam dobre tiesnený americkým obrancom, ktorý si tam po tej predchádzajúcej chybe, alebo teda takom malom zaváhaní dal napokon pozor. No a nedostávame sa do šance. Teraz Olejník, výborne, je to naša prvá presilovka, pochválime Lukáša Olejníka. Olejník, krídelník nášho 4. útoku. V zápase proti Veľkej Británii sa prezentoval krásnou dielovkou do šibenice britského brankára. Otvoril si svoje gólové konto, ale už v prvom zápase. Je to hráč, ktorý má vynikajúcu strelu, teraz vybojoval pre nás presilovú hru. My tam posielame to, čo máme nacvičené, teda tú elitnú presilovkovú formáciu s útočníkmi Protefu Považská Bystrica. Vzadu máme Ivana Gajdoša, no a 4. útočníkom, ktorý to tam doplňa, je Lukáš Pijak. Taktiež z Považskej Bystrice, aby som bol teda úplne presný a kompletný. Poďme skúsiť teda dať otvárací gól tohto štvrťfinálového zápasu. Bude to určite mimoriadne dôležitý zásah, komu sa to podarí prvému, tak ten bude mať určite psychologickú výhodu. Recept by sme si mohli brať z Čechov, ktorí včera Američanov rozdrvili 6-0. Predvčerom. Včera sa hrali barážové zápasy, ale teda v tom poslednom hracom dni základných skupín Česi predvedli fantastický výkon a snáď naši tréneri zistili v tom zápase, kde sú slabiny amerického tímu. Poďme naspäť na hru. Teraz máme šancu na strelu. Korbáš, veľká šanca, ešte dorážky Straka. Jeho strela, ale výborný Carter. Ešte naši hráči, tak teraz sme mali veľkú šancu otvoriť skore. Hryzák posúva na Korbáša, ale nepresne. Vyhadzujeme sa z útočného pásma. Minúta našej presilovky je už minulosťou. Striedame tam teraz tú formáciu za druhú presilovkovú, kde máme Štefánku, Oravca, Teplického, Martinusíka a Olejníka. Ideme to skúsiť s 5 útočníkmi, ale takto naši tréneri už hrali aj v predchádzajúcich zápasoch. Lukáš Olejník, ktorého aktivita viedla práve k tomu vylúčeniu na strane Spojených štátov amerických. Ešte som vám zostal dlžný, že vylúčeným hráčom je Vinny Tuminello. My stále ostávame v útočnom pásme zásluhou dobrej práce Olejníka a Martinusíka. Teraz Teplický na ľavom krídle. Olejník, ten stojí na vrchole kruhov. Jeho prihrávka, teraz šanca, takmer gól, ale Oravcová strela končí len na pozornom Carterovi. To bola obrovská šanca, mohli sme sa ujať vedenia. Poďme ešte skúsiť niečo s touto preslovkou vymyslieť, aj keď máme už len posledných 10 sekúnd. Poďme aspoň do útočného pásma, tak to bola obrovská príležitosť Borisa Oravca. Ďalekonosná strela Olejníka, ktorá sa odráža od zadného mantinelu. Oravec je tam prvý, posiela loptičku ešte do nebezpečného priestoru pred brankoviskom. Američania sú všetci, my stále tlačíme. Olejník ešte zachytil útočné pásmo, posiela to pred branu. Teč Oravca, veľká šanca, ale Američania sa oslobodzujú od palom cez celé ihrisko. Zakázané uvoľnenie, vynikajúci úvod našich reprezentantov aj vďaka ponúknutej výhode v presilovej hre. Škoda, že sa nám nepodarilo využiť, boli sme k tomu veľmi blízko. Boris Oravec mohol posunúť výber trénera Rampáčka do jednotgólového vedenia, ale napokon Andrew Carter, ktorý dnes dostal príležitosť pred svojím kolegom Robertom Snyderom, predvedol fantastický zákrok. Teraz naša striedačka dostáva upozornenie, že už bolo dávno signalizované, že sa striedať nesmie, takže rozhodcovia si boli vytiahnuť Borisa Oravca. Ten tam teda na chvíľočku bude musieť ostať. Na vhadzovaní už pripravený Jan Šatka. Na vhadzovaní z americkej strany s číslom 4 hráč, ktorý pred chvíľočkou bol na trestnej lavici, Vinny Tuminello. Američania úspešnejší na vhadzovaní. ďalekonosný oblúčik, ktorý končí u Dubnického, ten radšej hru prerušuje. Končí sa nám 5. minúta prvej tretiny, videli sme obrovskú šancu Oravca v presilovke, kde sme si vypracovali aj tlak, ale nakoniec to zatiaľ neskončilo v sieti Cartera. Ten si dal pri tom Oravcovom zakončení pozor, aj keď teda to bol parádny zákrok, to sa treba teda určite k tomu vrátiť, možno, že aj v highlight reeloch. Uvidíme, čo s tým spraví Media Team. No ale teraz poďme naspäť do hry. Američania získali útočné pásmo po vhadzovaní. Hra sa odvíja za našou bránou, už to Američania vyťahujú na kruh. Respektíve na tie značky na vhadzovaní. Teraz tam dôležitý zákrok hokejkou prišiel na našej strane. Už by tá loptička išla do priestorov, skadiaľ sa dá dať gól, veľmi jednoducho. Tomečko sa vracia tou loptičku za našu bránu, prenechávajú Minárikovi. Asistent kapitána Hryzáka, Jozef Minárik, už na koľkých žeto majstrovstvách sveta v našom drese. Snáď najväčšia legenda, ktorú stále vidíme aktívne behať po našich ihriskách. Teraz však Matúš Korbáš. Jeho finálový super, paradoxne teraz nastupujú spolu. Teraz bojujú za Slovensko. Veľká šanca Hryzáka, ktorý tam dobre teraz dobiedzal, ale Carter si dal pozor. Naši sú zatiaľ lepší v týchto úvodných minútach. Len to treba pretaviť aj do nejakého streleckého úspechu. Hryzák teraz. Korbáš spracováva, ale jednou rukou neposúva presne. Američania to vystihli. Otáčajú hru. Teraz tam dáme pozor. Minárik skúsene, ale škoda, že tá jeho prihrávka nenašla adresáta. Teraz veľká šanca Američanov. A je to veľká príležitosť. Dubák sa stihol presunúť. Tomáš Dubnický vynikajúco. Už som sa bál, že to americký útočník spravil tak šikovne, že nás oklamal. Pozrime sa na to naozaj ešte raz, teraz z opakovaného záznamu. Ak sa k tomu dostaneme, budete to vidieť. Najprv tá strela bola nepríjemne vyrazená. No a potom, tu sa na to pozrime. Našťastie Dubák pritlačil ten betón o ľavú žrtku. No a nedovolil otvoriť skóre Brandonovi Perisketimu. No tak toto bola minimálne rovnako veľká šanca ako tá Borisova z presilovky a môžeme byť radi, že je stále stav vyrovnaný. Teraz výborne pracoval hokejkou Šulik ešte tam v prvom súboji pri našej striedačke. Narazil Brandona Jonesa. Teraz sa bude vylučovať, ale na našej strane. Prerušujeme hru, áno, vďaka Martinu Sikovi. Tak nie, ešte nie, ale Američania sa vystavili do offsideu. Takže hra je prerušená, 8 minút 43 sekúnd pred koncom prvej tretiny. Prvá presilová hra je pred tým Spojených štátov amerických. Tak, zápas ako remen zatiaľ naozaj máme sa na čo pozerať. Tu v Lonzárene vo švajčiarskom mestečku Visp. Je to mestečko, ktoré má možno, že tak do 10 000 obyvateľov. Je to naozaj malebná krajinka tu v kantóne Valais. Samé kopce, naozaj 4000-ovky okolo všade. Najväčší dolinný ľadovec alebo údolný ľadovec tu nedaleko 30 kilometrov od Vispu. Alčerský ľadovec, kde včera Medzinárodná hokejbalová federácia spolu s českou reprezentáciou a kanadskou reprezentáciou mala takú promo akciu, kde sa hral teda hokejbal priamo na ľadovci vo výške takmer 3000 metrov nad morom, ale teraz nás viac zaujíma presilovka Američanov. Nahodenie len končí na zadnom mantineli. Naši sa teraz bránia, máme tam Minárika, máme tam Revaja, Pijáka a Salajku. Takže to je tá naša taká obranná formácia, ktorá hrala v tomto zložení aj predchádzajúce zápasy. Sú tam traja obránci alebo obrancovia, Američania stále pri loptičke. Teraz tam majú elitnú formáciu. Strela z ťažkého uhla končí našťastie v rohu, ale Drew Albright zbiera loptičku. Posúva na modru teraz Johnny Ruiz. Ruiz si spravil priestor. Dubnický nemusel zasahovať. Prepáčte, ja niektorých hráčov volám po ich prezývke, pretože sú to moji kamaráti, takže pre mňa je to prirodzené, ale budem sa snažiť teda ich samozrejme volať ich riadnymi menami. Takže poďme naspäť do hry. Američania opäť nasťahovaní pred našim pásmom. Johnny Ruiz, ten si prebral režisérskú taktovku na touto presilovkou. Tečovaný pokus Ruiza, ale končí našťastie len mimo našej brány. Šatka sa teraz bude môcť postarať o to, aby nás oslobodil. Výborne, áno, Šatka. Carter musí zasahovať, lebo tá loptička nepríjemne skackala pred jeho bránkou. Už opäť Američania, znova to tam vyťahuje Johnny Ruiz. Na toho sa extrémne budú spoliehať hráči Američanov vedení trénerom Albrightom, ktorý má na ihrisku okrem toho aj dvoch synov. Teraz veľká šanca Američanov, ale našťastie to končí len na ochrannej sieti. 32 sekúnd ešte sa budeme musieť brániť pri vylúčení Nikodéma Šulíka. 7 minút 16 sekúnd pred koncom prvej tretiny, stav tu vo Vispe 0-0. Ako som spomínal, My potrebujeme tento zápas vyhrať, pretože pre slovenský hokejbal je to extrémne dôležitý zápas. Vieme, že či už hráči, funkcionári alebo diváci sú namosaní úspechmi. Je to náš najúspešnejší kolektívny šport vôbec. Zo 14 účastí na majstrovstvách sveta 13 medailí. Sme 5-násobnými majstrami sveta, takže naozaj máme čo obhajovať alebo vracať sa na tie priečky, na ktoré by sme teda mali patriť. Budeme sa ešte musieť brániť, ale 15 sekúnd v výhode Američanov. Nick Carter teraz na vrchole. Opäť Carter. Posúva to tam napravo, ale znova sa loptička vracia k tomuto obrancovi Američanov. Veľká šanca, ale teraz výborne Dubnický a oslobodzujeme sa. Už by sme to mali zvládnuť. Šulik práve v tejto chvíli opúšťa trestnú lavicu. Sme 5. Takže ani jeden tým nevyužil presilovku, aj keď v oboch prípadoch boli týmy naozaj ku otvoreniu skore veľmi blízko. Zatiaľ pochválime brankárov Dubnického a Cartera. Teraz si budeme musieť dať pozor, Salajka je tam už dlho, ubránil tam takmer celé dvojminútové oslabenie, takže budeme sa musieť naozaj snažiť čo najrýchlejšie prerušiť hru, aby sme si tam zrovnali tie liney, ale teraz sa nám to nepodarí, pretože po zakázanom uvoľnení práve po strele z hokejky Salajku nebudeme môcť striedať. Američania navyše posielajú čerstvé sily, takže budeme musieť naozaj robiť maximum preto, aby sme dokázali našich hráčov vymeniť. Vidíme, že niektorí odchádzajú ku lavičke, aspoň po taktické pokyny od trénera Ampáčka. Mozárovi tam niečo odkazuje, pretože Vozár, okrem toho, že je stále aktívnym reprezentantom, pôsobí aj ako asistent trénera pri našej juniorskej hokejbalovej reprezentácii, takže tréneri ho určite budú využívať ako predĺženú ruku. To isté platí aj o Michalovi Salajkovi, to je hlavný tréner Slovenska do 20 rokov. Juniorský tím našich v Liberci vybojoval pod práve ich vedením strieborné medaily minulý rok. Teraz sme sa konečne teda dostali k tomu, aby sme prestriedali, už tam máme čerstvé sily, to nám veľmi pomôže. Už tam môže ísť Boris Oravec napadať rozohrávku Američanov, ale tí majú veľký priestor, pretože naši stoja v defenzívnom bloku vzadu. Navyše sme teraz mali troška problém s dostriedaním. Už tam máme nášho kapitána Hryzáka, treba si dať pozor na to, aby to nebol nejaký zbytočný faul. Teraz Američania držia loptičku za našou bránou, my ich tam ale pozorne sledujeme. Dobrú defenzívnu prácu tam teraz odviedol Hryzák, pochválime ho. Zelenka môže cez ľavé krídlo na Oravca. Boris Oravec tam v tvrdom súboji proti Američanom. Narazil ho tam na mantinel Stevie Skian. Teraz môžeme ísť do protiútoku, poďme skúsiť. Oravec prenecháva Teplickému, klubovému kolegovi z Popradu. Teplický sa na tomto turnaji ešte gólovo nepresadil. Veríme, že Libor si necháva dôležité góly na práve takéto zápasy. Teraz loptička končí len po odraze od americkej striedačky v obrannom pásme Američanov a tam sa bude aj vhadzovať. Máme ešte niečo vyše 5 minút do konca prvej tretiny. Stále je to 0-0. Poďme sa pozrieť na ukazovateľ striel na bránu. Zatiaľ 5-3 pre Američanov. Na vhadzovaní náš expert nám boli Tomáš Štefanka, pán doktor z Nitry, takže poď Tomáš, preukáž to, že sa nemýlim v tvojich schopnostiach proti nemu Vini Tuminelo. Rozhodca Záhora si ešte upravuje hráčov. Výborné boli, veľká šanca! Olejníková strela zblokovaná. Tak potvrdilo sa, čo som hovoril o Štefankových vhadzovaniach. Fantasticky si tam postavil hráčov. Čistá loptička na Olejníka, ale jeho strela zblokovaná. Teraz ešte naši sa tam môžu usadiť. Olejník bude prvý pri loptičke na pravom mantineli. Zadovka na Libora Teplického. Teplický, škoda, že tam teraz Štefanka nedočiahol na jeho nahodenú prihrávku pred bránu. Štefanka, naši budú hrať ďalšiu presilovku a je tam veľmi nepríjemný zákrok. Dokonca dúfajme teda, že to nebude s nejakým vážnym zranením, pretože keď tak pozerám na Lukáša Olejníka, tak to nevyzerá dobre. Už tam bežia náš fyzioterapeut aj s doktorom. Pozrime sa, čo sa stalo. Tak to bolo nepríjemné. To môže byť zranenie členka a veru už sa volá aj tým lekárov z Lonza Areny. To je veľmi nepríjemné. To by bola veľká strata, pretože Lukáš Olejník je dôležitou súčasťou nášho tímu, takisto využívaný na presilových hrách. Verme, že to nebude nič vážne, ale naši hráči tam obkolesili Lukáša Olejníka, robia to správne. Možno, že by teraz nemuseli kamery snímať ani nášho zraneného hráča. Nebolo to samozrejme zavinené Bol to síce faul, ale myslím akože v tom zmysle, že by to ten hráč spravil nejako úmyselne, to sa mi nezdalo. Nikola Levesk sa prizerá celej situácii z trestnej lavice, zatiaľ čo lekársky tím alebo zdravotnícky tím ošetruje zraneného Lukáša Olejníka, ten stále ostáva ležať na ploche Lonza arény. Už je na svojich nohách, chvala Bohu aspoň za to, ale obávam sa, že toto bude stopka minimálne na tento zápas. No, s tým členkom, pravdepodobne teda členok to bude, ktorý si to odskákal, to nevyzerá dobre. Lukáš vôbec na tú nohu nedostupuje, ako odchádza do ošetrovne. Myslím si, že to zranenie prišlo až po tom faule, po tom dopade na plochu. Tak poďme skúsiť v úvodzovkách pomstiť toto zranenie Lukáša Olejníka otváracím gólom. 4 minúty 50 sekúnd ostávajú do konca prvej tretiny. Náš tým bude hrať druhú presilovú hru. O jedného člena presilovkovej formácie sme práve prišli. Uvidíme, koho tam tréneri miesto Lukáša Olejníka pošlu. Ak by som si mohol tipnúť, možno, že by to mohol byť Michal Tomečko, ktorý má podobnú kvalitu strely a navyše je pravákom. No ale ja to nechám na trénerov, samozrejme, že otvárať presilovku bude naša elitná formácia z Považskej Bystrice, Hryzák, Straka, Korba, Špiják a vzadu Ivan Gajdoš. Tak poďme skúsiť využiť presilovú hru a potrestať vylúčenie na americkej strane, ktoré teda si odpíka Levesk. Vyhrali sme v hadzovanie, alebo respektíve dostali sme sa po ňom k loptičke. Hryzák ju má teraz v moci na pravej strane pri modrej čiare. Kombinuje s Gajdošom. Straka, Gajdoš. Toto nám trošku nevyšlo, ale našťastie sme prví pri loptičke. Hryzák za bránou. Korbáš. Gajdoš. Straka. Korbáš. Gajdoš. Ešte šanca! Škoda, že tá dorážka Piaka neprešla a teraz sa Američania môžu oslobodiť po našom nedorozumení. No a máme ešte teda minútu a 10 sekúnd. Posielame tam druhú presilovkovú formáciu, alebo teda aspoň čiastočne. Dajme si pozor, aby sme nespravili nejakú zbytočnú chybu. Našťastie sa nám podarilo to mať. Vidíte, tréneri ma vypočuli a už je tam Mišo Tomečko na tom mieste, ktoré zaujal po zranenom Lukášovi Olejníkovi, takže som sa trafil do mysle trénera Rampáčka a jeho týmu. Tomečko si musí dať pozor. Teplický to ešte teraz ale nestihol to nakoniec. Chcel to ešte zachrániť. Mišo Tomečko možno trošku nervózny do svojej premiérovej účasti pre slovkej formácii, ale verím tomu, že on keď sa dostane k nejakej dobrej strele, tak to bude nejaká parádna delovka, ktorá by nás mohla rozveseliť. Teraz krásna kombinácia, škoda, že to Oravcovi teraz Američania v poslednej chvíli vypichli. Ešte nám ostáva 25 sekúnd z našej druhej presilovej hry. Poďme to skúsiť využiť aspoň na to, aby sme sa dostali do útočného pásma, ideálne na gól. Martinusík. Cez Teplického ten elegantnou zadovkou naspäť na Martinusíka. Mišo Tomečko. Jeho rána, škoda, že len do blokujúceho Američana. Máme stále loptičku, pekné priťuknutie od Martinusíka na Tomečka, ten mu to vracia. Martinusík, Tomečko. Ďalšia zblokovaná strela, pozor teraz na Američanov, vylúčený hráč Levesk sa teraz dostáva do samostatného nájazdu. Našťastie mu kľúčka nevyšla. Mali sme aj šťastie, navyše Levesk zlomil hokejku. Poďme my do útočného pásma, tak teraz naozaj stáli pri nás všetci svätí pri tejto šanci, kedy Američania sa dostali do toho prečíslenia aj zásluhou naskakujúceho hráča. Andrew Carter teraz pomohol svojim hráčom rozohrať, spravil to veľmi dobre, Datný vracia za bránu, tam napádáme my pobudom, ale Američania už vyťahujú hru cez pravú stranu svojho obranného pásma, už sú za našou bránou, tam bude prvý Nikodem Šulík. Posiela po mantineli na Hryzáka. Hryzáková prihrávka zblokovaná Američanmi, ale našťastie tam budeme prvý. Šulík to posiela na Sobola. Teraz máme trošku času, pretože Američania počas hry striedajú. Máme teda priestor na to, aby sme tú hru vytiahli. Začínajú sa nám záverečné 2 minúty prvej tretiny, stav je stále nerozhodný 0-0 a teraz po nahodení končí loptička len na ochrannej sieti. Rozhodcovia ešte usúdili navyše, že Američania to tečovali pred modrou čiarou, čiže nebude sa vhadzovať ani pred brankárom Carterom, ale pred modrou čiarou. Našou našťastie útočnou, takže sme stále bližšie k tej bráne. Posielame tam teraz útok Tomáša Štefanku. Dnes prvýkrát dostáva príležitosť na ľavom krídle jeho útoku a Jakub Takáč ako 13. útočník bol písaný pred týmto zápasom. Tak poďme sa na to pozrieť. Jan Revaj teraz na Salajku. Salajka nahádzuje. Carter vyráža. Budeme tam prvý, veľká šanca! Carter! Tak to bola naozaj tutovka pre Kuba Takáča. Tomu by som doprial fakt gól. Je to veľká škoda, lebo naopak na druhej strane teraz zdvihnutá ruka Michala Záhoru, ktorý posiela slovenský tím do oslabenia. Za podrazenie si odchádza na trestnú lavicu sadnúť Jan Revaj, ale mali sme obrovskú príležitosť. To je škoda. Carter stále 100%, ale to isté platí aj o našom brankárovi Tomášovi Dubnickom. Teraz sa však budeme musieť brániť. Verme, že to udržíme až do konca tretiny. Tu sme sa na to pozerali ešte raz. Na ten zákrok, za ktorý Michal Záhora vylúčil Jána Revaja, obrancu nitrianskych rytierov. Takže máme tam opäť tú našu špeciálnu oslabovkovú formáciu. Teraz, ak dobre vidím, tak navyše je tam aj Ivan Hryzák. A práve na miesto vylúčeného Revaja tam máme nášho kapitána. Američania v nebezpečnej palebnej pozícii, to si možno pýtalo zakončenie, my môžeme byť radi, že sa tomu tak nestalo. Nick Carter na vrchole. Dobre presunutie Dubnického, tá strela bola navyše zablokovaná. Teraz tá loptička končí na hokejke Nicka Cartera tesne pred červenou čiarou, takže zachránil ešte útočné pásmo pre svoj tým. Ešte nám ostáva minúta 5 sekúnd do konca prvej tretiny. Teraz Američania veľmi blízko sťahujú tú slučku. Carter. Dajme si pozor. Strela, ale nepresná našťastie z hokejky Johna Dutneyho. Teraz znova Carter, Dutney. John Dutney. Teraz tam dobre hokejkami pracujú naši chlapci. Ivan Hryzák, škoda, že sa to nepodarilo vyhodiť. Carter to zachytil. Pijak navyše bez hokejky. Už si ju dvíha z plochy. Američania stále pri loptičke zásluhou Brandona Jonesa. Carter si tam zbehol teraz po tú prihrávku. Nick Carter stále nezakončuje. Vylepšuje si streleckú pozíciu. Dubnický výborne, zase sa nám nepodarilo vyhodiť. Stále Carter, ďalší blok našich hráčov. Obetavo tam teraz hrajú naši. Hryzák to schytal veľmi nepríjemne. Ďalšia strela, vedľa brány Dubnický. Dobre to teraz spravili naši hráči a Tomáš Dubnický 13 sekúnd, aj 6 pred koncom prvej tretiny prikrýva loptičku vo svojej výstroji. Tak to boli krušné chvíle pred našou bránou. Hlavne nebezpečný Nick Carter, to je naozaj excelentný obranca, ktorý tam predvádzal teraz svoj či už to bolo presnými prihrávkami na svojich spoluhráčov, alebo aj zakončeniami. Našťastie ani jedno z tých, ktoré sme videli, neskončili za Tomášom Dubnickým. Fantastický výkon nášho brankára zatiaľ. Ešte potrebujeme ubrániť zvyšné sekundy v tejto tretine a potom si v prestávke oddychnúť, rozobrať si veci z prvej tretiny, dobojovať potom oslabovku a hlavne teda sa dostať aj na streleckú listinu. No ale teraz, ako som spomenul, je dôležité, aby sme dobojovali tú oslabovku. Prehrávame vhadzovanie, Američania tam majú Jordana Albrighta, zakončenie, ktoré blokujeme, vyhoďme to, to je škoda, že sa nám to nepodarilo. Ešte Američania, Jordan Albright. Ich strela bola ale našťastie nepresná, už by sme to mohli ustať. Záverečný klakson prvej tretiny je realitou. 0-0 zatiaľ, hráme proti Spojeným štátom americkým v štvrťfinálovom zápase 15. majstrovstiev sveta ISBHF v hokejbale vo švajčiarskych mestách Visp a Raron. Videli sme fantastickú prvú tretinu v podaní oboch tímov, ale zatiaľ excelujú hlavne brankári. Veľké šance na oboch stranách si vypracovali týmy najmä v presilovkách. My sme na nešťastie v prvej tretine prišli od zraneného Lukáša Olejníka. Uvidíme, aké vážne to bude s jeho zranením. Dúfajme, že nevyradí ho táto vec celého turnaja. To by bolo veľká strata, veľmi nepríjemné. No ale musíme bojovať aj za neho. O približne 9 minút sa vám opäť prihlásime z Lonza Areny vo Vispe. Zatiaľ do počutia.
know, you win or you don't. Nobody accepts 50 points. They don't care.
I would go there. It's in Switzerland. That's my favorite place.
Okay.
I have a friend from Montreal. He came this summer. I took him there. He was speechless.
Really?
Just he still talks to me about it like all the time. Yeah.
Wow, okay. Alright, I can go after today, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. I look by train, but I can look by drive if you want. Oh, okay. Yeah, the train was like an hour 20. The only thing I don't know is at what time the pickup goes up to the lake, because the lake is in the mountain. You have to take, yeah, I don't know at what time they stop, but if you leave after the game, you're fine. I have no idea. there?
We went there yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yesterday was our day off.
Yeah. That's. Yeah, this place is amazing.
I'm gonna let you see more on. They said it was really cloudy, so I'm gonna see it. Oh, it's me, yeah. Oh, it's so pretty. I was hoping to see that. Oh, I know. It's like, yeah.
Also, welcome back to the referees.
Welcome back. Just about ready for the start of the second period here. The United States will start on the man advantage. 23 seconds left on their power play. So they'll need to win this face-off quickly and get set up in the Slovakian zone. Be sure to check out stats.isbhf.com for all your up-to-date scoring needs. Just to get you caught up, for Slovakia, Tomáš Dubnicki has made 9 saves, and for the United States, Andrew Carter has made 5 saves here in this scoreless affair, as that is probably going to do it on the power play. Slovakia going to get the clear here. Rifles it the entire length of the floor with less than 10 seconds left. U.S. looking to gain the zone. Carry it, they gain it. Poke checked away by Slovakia. Turnover, however, U.S. tries to give and go. Fanned on the shot, but another turnover down low. Shot score! United States gets the lead. They bury the rebound. What an outstanding hustle play by number 93, Connor Callahan. That wasn't a bad turnover by Slovakia. They had 2 opportunities to clear it there. And that's what I talked about early in this broadcast, right? Limiting mental mistakes, capitalizing on your opportunities. So Slovakia effectively kills the power play. They have an opportunity to get some momentum going the other way. They fumble the initial clear, and then the ball just rolls off the player's stick right onto Connor Callahan. Look at the replay, right? So Callahan gets the initial shot, and then just buries his own rebound right in front of two Slovakian players. That is just uncharacteristic of Slovakia. Absolutely nothing Dubnicki could do on that. Hey, credit to the United States. That's what it takes to go home with hardware in these tournaments, right? When you have opportunities, they're so hard to come by. You've got to finish. So Nikola Levesque gets the assist. As we have a flooring call here. I'll tell you, you just don't see that from teams like Slovakia, where not only do they fail to clear, but then have a defensive breakdown. It's a 1-on-2, right? So Callahan is by himself in front of Dubnicki. There's two Slovakian defenders there, and for whatever reason, neither of them really collapse down on the body or the stick. They let Callahan get the initial shot off, okay, which is understandable, but then to just have him get his own rebound and bury it, boy, if I'm Milan Rampacek, I am not happy with that. Well, the United States now with momentum. Can they keep it and capitalize, as we're going to get a flooring call here, so the faceoff will come back down deep. So I know Slovakia is arguing that that was tipped, but referee not having any of it. So Tumanello out there versus Sketty, and I believe Bergamasco. On defense, I see Andes and Melillo. Big draw from Tumanello here. One back by the Slovaks along behind the net. Rattled around. It's going to be kept in by Melillo. U.S. running a very long cycle right now as they dump it back in down deep. Slovakia takes control, dumps it back, and tries to settle things down. Straka has it. A couple of fresh Slovak players come out. Well, now they're going to end up making wholesale line changes as the U.S. gets some fresh legs as well. See Malloy coming out there. Slovakia carries it into the neutral zone. And rifle it in down deep. Goes wide of Carter, up along the boards. Chipped out of the zone by the United States, but it's the nice 1080 Ultra 4 definition high 4KP monitor, whatever you want to call it. I like to call it the Jumbotron. And the faceoff will come back down deep into the U.S. zone. Big draw here now for the Slovaks. Faceoff picked up by the United States. Good hustle play there by number 97, Mike Malloy. Trying to dump it off over to Malloy, but rolls off of his stick. Slovakia now on the counterattack. Gains the U.S. zone. Opportunity shot, what a save, Carter. Right off the blocker, good positional goaltending, made himself big. Didn't give the Slovakian player anything to look at there. As turnover by Slovakia in the U.S. zone will lead to a counterattack. Well, it won't, as U.S. players make some changes here, so does Slovakia. As Slovakia chips it back down deep into the U.S. zone. Hey, credit to Carter there. Right, U.S. has the momentum. He's got a goal scorer coming down on his wing. He just made himself big. Didn't give up any holes. He's really played solid today, as has Dubnicki for Slovakia. That goal wasn't his fault. So both teams doing a lot of moving around the neutral zone here as Andes tries to wait something to happen and then rifles it up. Intercepted by Slovakia, but then a good poke check by Corey Wilson. He gives chase in down deep. Corey Wilson with it. Wilson picking his head up, trying to find somebody to pass to. There's nobody there. Wilson with a wraparound attempt! Does that go in? Wilson thinks it did, but the referee says no, it did not. And now the referee says, come talk to me. So Dubnicki held his foot solid on the post. Wilson saying, I think that went in and crossed the line. Take a look at the video replay here. You can't tell from there. Dubnicki certainly had his foot on the post and the blocker there. I can understand Wilson arguing, but it doesn't look like there's much there for the United States to convince the referee to go to a video review. Face-off will remain down deep in the Slovakian zone. Captain Johnny Ruiz out there to take the draw behind him. Levesque Albright. To his right is Jordan Albright. So one to the side by Ruiz, and then taken up by Slovakia. Potential 2-on-1 here. Drew Albright trying to hustle back to break up the play. Carter, solid. Slovakian player didn't really get any good carbon on that. So Carter was able to just steer that away. U.S. player goes hard into the board. That was Drew Albright. I heard that one up here. Back to the point, over to Johnny Ruiz. Back down low. Over to Jordan Albright to Ruiz. Tries to stick handle through. Can't. Now Slovakia has the 3-on-2 going the other way. Shot in by Straka. Well, they gave up on that and just tried to get some fresh legs out there. So we're going to face off down deep in the United States zone. 11 minutes and 6 seconds remaining here in the second period. U.S. leading 1-0 on a goal by Connor Callahan, assisted by number 61, Nicola Levesque. I'll tell you, you can really feel the tension in this game compared to the round-robin games, you know, especially with veteran, ball hockey world championship veteran squads like the United States and Slovakia. It's just very thick tension, right? Like they say, you can cut it with a knife. Both teams playing hard, playing fast, and this is one of those games that's shaping up to just come down to which team can limit the mental mistakes and which team, conversely, right, can capitalize if there is a mental mistake made. As Andy circles around, shot, goes high over the net, picked up by Persischetti. Persischetti looking for something to do here. There's nowhere to go with it. Intercepted by Slovakia, but Persischetti poke checks it away, trying to get a center attempt. Good block on the lane there by number 44, Andre Straka. Picked up by Ivan Gatos, back to Straka. U.S. getting some fresh legs out there, as is the Slovakian team. Mike Malloy heading over to the far boards, trying to apply some forecheck pressure. Back to the near boards, long shot in. Easily padded into the corner by Carter. Eddie Urban getting hemmed in. Now he's helped by Worgen, the referee yelling at him to move it. Ball squirts loose finally, now back in people's feet. Well, there's Andy's, poke checks it up along the near boards, kept in by Slovakia. Still stuck in people's feet, now finally squirts loose, and we have a 2-on-2 developing for the United States. See if they can get a shot opportunity here. That's Mike Malloy with it, and nowhere to go. Back to Carter. Doesn't have a shooting lane, dumps it back in for his forwards. Picked up by Corey Wilson. Surveyor attempt shot, oh, what a save! Holy Moses! Oh my gosh, Carter can't believe it. Puts his head up to the sky. I don't think Nicky saw that. Hey, credit to Carter, heads up play, sneaking quietly in. Take a look at the replay here. I mean, that happened. It was just such a bang-bang play. By the time, from my vantage point up here in the bird box, it looked like Nicky turned around and the shot just hit him. That's just great positional goaltending. Boy, you know, those are the types of saves that can give a team momentum. United States need to be careful now. You know, you're the Slovakian forward, or a defenseman having some trouble out there putting the puck in the back of the net. You can build off of that as there's an easy pad save off the stick of Corey Wilson. John Dutton giving chase. Takes it back over to Carter. Carter with a turnover in the zone. Thought Wilson was going to go to the boards, but Wilson didn't. Now Slovakia picks it up as an opportunity here to get some attack zone time against the United States. Uh-oh, mishandled. And that's going to allow the United States to get a couple of fresh legs here during the second period. Well, there's a long change. Just under 9 minutes remaining here. Intercepted by Johnny Ruiz, 2-on-1 with Jordan Albright. Here's Ruiz over to Albright, shot, score! Jordan Albright from the captain, Johnny Ruiz. And that's how quick things can change. We just got done talking about minimizing mental mistakes. A mental mistake mishandles the ball by Slovakia. Poke checked advance by Johnny Ruiz. Puts it right on the tape. The top 2 scores for the United States combined and give the U.S. all sorts of momentum now. 2-0 over the Slovaks. Boy, what a great pass by the captain, Ruiz. I mean, he put that right in the bread and butter spot of the stick. And just all Albright had to do was throw it on net. Absolutely no chance for Dubnicki. United States now with some zone time again. There's an opportunity trying to walk it in as Levesque pops up off of a foot. Levesque bodied into the boards, loses his footing. Picked up now by Drew Albright, back on the stick of Levesque. Levesque takes a tumble there. Back to the point, over to Jordan Albright. Shot from Ruiz, goes wide, high over the net. Kicked into the corner by the Slovaks. U.S. all over Slovakia right now, 8 minutes remaining. Ruiz battling hard along the boards. Ball still on the feet, taken up by Ruiz. Center down low was trying, and now we get a whistle there as Levesque takes exception. And listen, I'm not trying to sound like a homer here. I know this is the English broadcast, and obviously I'm from the United States. I think Levesque has a right to take some exception there. You know, he was tripped behind the net, took a body shot from the board. Want to make sure that you don't feel like you're giving the other team, you know, the one-upsmanship, right? Okay, big draw for Tumanello. He's got Persischetti directly behind him, and Andy's behind Persischetti. Face off one by the Slovaks, sent back around behind the net. Up along near boards to Straka, centering attempt. Back to Straka. Cross floor. Slovaks will dump it in and give chase. However, well, as we talked about mental mistakes, right? He's trying to go cross floor to bank that off the boards and get a forecheck going, and he just misfires it, right? He rifles it in on Carter. Yes, they're going to end up with a face-off, but that's not what they were trying to do there. And for you young fans watching at home, right? You know, you're hoping to make it to a national team someday, and those are the little things that coaches try to hammer home. And you wonder why coaches hoot and holler a lot. Is little things like that. As the United States kicks the ball forward, beaten on the play by the Slovaks rather. And now there's a battle behind the net. United States takes possession. Good hustle effort back to the point, over to Dutney. Dutney trying to find a shooting lane. Had Urban down low, trying to get a center attempt. Oh, unable to find the stick of Mike Malloy, who was all alone in the slot. As the ball comes out high onto the stick of Dutney. U.S. getting some fresh legs out. Rifled around, chipped back by Bergamasco. Picked up by the Slovaks. Korbash with it, Korbash dumps it in. Dutney chipped it back. Korbash has it, one-timer, fakes the shot, right to the glove of Carter. And I think we're gonna get a penalty here on the United States on Bergamasco. And that's probably gonna be a call on the Slovaks. Well, you know, listen, it's very important at this stage in what we call the deep end of the pool. You cannot let your emotions get the best of you, right? So the Slovaks had an opportunity to go on a power play there. They were going to call a penalty on Bergamasco. And then Herzak, you know, I don't know what he's thinking. And again, I'm not criticizing the guy, right? He's out there on the floor. I'm not. I'm just saying, as my dual role, play-by-play and color commentator, right? You can't let your emotions get the best of you and put your team at a disadvantage. You're down 2-0. You're about to have a chance to go on a power play, right? You got to save it. You got to save that energy. I understand you're frustrated. I understand that you feel like you've had some, you know, the better chances on that in the first period, and the United States was kind of lucky to get out of there 0-0 thanks to the outstanding play by Carter. You know, so maybe that contributes a little bit to it, but listen, you know, you got to put that stuff behind you, man, right? On to the next play. So unfortunate, mental mistake for Slovakia. Cost themselves a power play. Now it's 4-on-4, and this is going to favor the United States. They're the fastest team. The United States and Switzerland are the two fastest teams in the tournament. So when there's extra space on the floor, you're going to see that it favors the U.S. and Switzerland.
At the same time, minor penalty for Team Slovakia.
So picked up by Jordan Albright, hemmed in along the boards, manages to escape. Albright with it. Slovaks need to keep an eye on Albright. He was an award winner in U23 in Liberec last year as he just blows a tire there. Very dangerous, very good heads-up player. I'm sure the Slovaks know that as they gain the U.S. zone. Sent it back, and it's another mental mistake, right? So sends it back, tries to get it back to the defense instead of having to tag sometime. Now they got to be good in their own zone. Michael Tomeko has it for Slovakia over to Zelenka. Slovakia looking for a way into the U.S. zone, can't find it. Ball is a little too far for the Slovak forward, number 8, Milan Kozar. And now the U.S. on the counterattack. No flooring on the play, picked up by Zelenka, rattles it around. Over to Pijak. Screaming down to beat the Slovak player to the ball is number 9, Eddie Urban, but then Urban overran it, and Urban takes the penalty. Well, now Slovakia is going to go on the power play. So if I'm Slovakia, I'm turning the ball over to the United States. They should just shoot the ball on net, right? You want the 4-on-3. Right now it's 5-on-4. They're just content here to have a 5-on-4. Over to Straka, shot blocked behind the net, picked up by the Slovaks. And then finally the U.S. gains possession and we get the penalty call for interference. Well, again, I know I'm talking to a United States audience here on the English broadcast. As my partner in crime, Andy Nemchek, is doing the broadcast in Slovakia. It's just a disappointing penalty to see taken by the United States, right? You saw the Slovaks continue to have mental mistake after mental mistake. You have the momentum. Was there some hockey value in that penalty on the part of Urban? Yeah, you can certainly argue, but just try and be mindful of momentum, right? Again, listen, it's easy for me to stand up here with a bird's eye view of everything and criticize anyone. It sounds like I'm criticizing anyone what they should or should not have done. One timer goes off the glove of Carter up into the mesh netting. So back to Urban's penalty, right? I mean, it's an interference call. It's been the most popular penalty here so far in the 2024 Worlds. It is what it is. United States needs to just put it behind them and move on. Right? Kill this penalty and regain the momentum. So they're going to get a clear here. And that should take a good 20 seconds off the man advantage as we have 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Slovakia looking to gain the zone. They do. Now they're going to get set up. Herzak with it. Back to the point, over to Corbius. Back to Herzak. Down low over to Pijak. Behind the net. Slovakia patient with the ball. U.S. clogging the passing lanes. Collapsing down to the shooting lanes. And there's a great play by Johnny Ruiz. Here comes Ruiz walking in all alone. Score! Johnny Ruiz, the captain, makes it 3-0 to United States on a short-handed goal.
Chceš na šovar, čo sa? My sme nic sagen. My sa chceš skôr zeigen.
And Slovakia just looks stunned. Can't believe what happened there. They've been sloppy on the power play since that started. Their passes were not crisp enough. They were trying to find perfect shooting in passing lanes, and Johnny Ruiz just goes 4-hole between the glove and above the pad. And again, there's nothing Dubnicki can do on that, right? I mean, captain of the United States team, Johnny Ruiz, he's a professional hockey player, right? Plays for the Danbury Hat-Tricks, their leading scorer. This ball's either going to hit you or it's not, you know. If you happen to be listening to me and rooting for Slovakia, listen, you can't blame the goaltender on that. That's on your team, man. Well, the United States, all sorts of momentum right now. Slovakia has got to make something happen here. They've got to get an equalizer now on the power play, as that is easily waffled aside by Carter. Picked up by Andes down low, loses it over to Slovakia. Olenek has it at the point, down to Teplicki. Back behind the net, Orovec is there in front. Got to be careful with him, right? Four-time world champion, so strong on the ball. Shot, blocked. Shot! Oh, what a stop! Are you joking? Carter, how did he save that? Drew Albright can't get it out of the zone. 20 seconds left on the man advantage. United States desperately trying to kill this after they just went up 3-0. Over to Olenek, shot, blocked. Comes back to Teplicki, back to Olenek, trying to make a backhand pass in front, shot, oh! Slovakia gets it right back. That's what they were trying to do the entire time on the power play, it looked like, and it finally paid off. Take a look at the replay here. Good body position there, and then just a nice, crisp backhand pass by Olenek right onto the tape. Nothing that Carter could do. Ball finds nothing but the back of the twine. Well, listen, you're the United States, right? Just put it behind you, on to the next play, just like Slovakia did. Slovakia is showing why they won 4 world championships in a row, right? You're not just going to roll over and die, you go up 3-0 on them. Net comes off the crease there.
New score, Team USA 3, Slovakia 1. Power play goal für Team Slovakia. Erzielte Spiele nominierte Tomasz Stefanka, assistierte 17 Lukasz Olenek. Zeit 27:10.
So Tomasz Stefanka gets the goal, assisted by number 70, Lukasz Olenek. Ruiz's goal was unassisted, and he's got 2 points on the day, goal and an assist. So 3-1 United States, 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining here in the second period. United States had the momentum after that shorthanded goal. Now Slovakia has it after scoring their power play goal to get the lead right back, cut down to 2 along the boards. U.S. trying to chip it out of the zone. They do. Picked up by the Slovaks along the near boards. Long shot in. Sticked into the corner by Carter. Ball batted up into the air. Back behind the net goes Orovec and Wilson. Orovec virtually impossible to move off the ball. I mean, he's a professional CrossFit athlete. He's just incredibly strong. Wraparound attempt. United States unable to get it out of the zone there. Shot goes off of a foot wide to the near boards. Bergamasco there, long shot. Waffled down by Carter. Centering attempt by Orovec, blocked. Orovec still with the ball. Centering attempt, shot, what a save! Carter again! Boy, he's made 7, 8, maybe 9 big saves in this game so far. He has really played outstanding. As the United States can't get a clear here, they're looking gassed. Rattled around by the Slovaks. You can feel the momentum now. United States got to make something happen. Even if they got to take a flooring call, just get it out of the zone. They can't there. Now Slovakia right back in on the attack. United States, last minute of play here. United States struggling to get the ball out of the zone. These are tired players. It's a long change period. Bergamasco whacks at it. He can't get it out. Opportunity for Slovakia. Shot blocked. One-timer. Save. 40 seconds left. The United States desperately trying to get it clear. They do. Johnny Ruiz has it now. Ruiz dumps it in. He's going to give chase. 30 seconds remaining. Center intent. Lopez. Oh my gosh, what a save by Dubnicki again. Boy, he's been sharp too as well. 15 seconds left. Cross floor pass, trickles down low. Shot. Blocked. Shot. Score. Lopez gets the goal. .6 seconds left. Slovakia looking stunned as they walk off. That ball must have ping-ponged 6, 7, maybe 8 times until finally it found the stick of a U.S. player in shooting position. Turns out to be Nikola Lovesk. He gets the goal, now has 2 points on the day. What a stunning series of bounces there for you. Watch this. Dubnicki makes a save, there's a whack, another whack, right? Poke checked away, and then bang, over to Lovesk. I mean, that's not on Dubnicki, right? He makes the save, the defense got to clear the rebound there. Well, I got to give credit to the U.S. at the risk of pulling a Jack Edwards here and sounding like a homer. I mean, that's a lot of heart and guts right there. After you give up a power play goal to come back and then retake the 3-goal lead going into the third. So the U.S. controls their own destiny right now. If I'm Milan Ramacek in Slovakia, right, I'll be focusing on minimizing those mental mistakes, right? Especially when we have an opportunity to go on the counterattack. Make sure that we're just crisper and sharper with our ball possession, know where we're going with the ball. And all we do is take it one shift at a time, get right back into it. So 10-minute break between periods. We'll be back for the start of the third. United States 4, Slovakia 1.
Was Mange? Yep.
Score after the second period of the World Men's Ball Hockey Championship quarterfinal game between USA and Slovakia is 4-1. Das Resultat nach dem zweiten Drittel des Herren-Streethockey-Weltmeisterschaft Viertelfinalspiel zwischen den USA und der Slowakei lautet 4-1.
Lass deinen Traum wahr werden. Wird zum Profi. ochsnerhockey.ch
Welcome back, hockey fans. Start of third period action about to get underway here. The United States leading Team Slovakia 4-1. United States with an outstanding second period as they take possession off the draw here, try to get it deep up along the boards. Sent in all alone is Ruiz. Saved of Nicky. Big save early to start, just 15 seconds into the game off of Johnny Ruiz, who absolutely has a hot stick. So we're going to get a whistle here. So just to recap the scoring, Connor Callahan opened it up for the United States, assisted by Levesque. Then Jordan Albright, assisted by Ruiz. And then Johnny Ruiz, shorthanded, unassisted. Slovakia got the answer right back. Tomáš Stefanka, assisted from Olenek. That made it 3-1. And then late in the period, Nikola Levesque, assisted by Albright and Ruiz. So Johnny Ruiz with 3 points on the day so far. The captain leading the United States by example. Long shot blocked. Now poked out of the zone. Good block there by Brandon Jones. As I mentioned before, Jones battling injuries. Trying to help the team any way he can. And I believe that's going to be a flooring call as Fredrickson did not quite have the line. So getting back to Jones, I mean, he won player of the game opening night against Switzerland. I mean, he just looked at the absolute peak of his performance. And then at some point during the Finland game, something happened. Didn't see him take the floor that much. He ended up sitting out the Italy game. And then, you know, tried to contribute during the Czech game. But once that game got out of hand, they ended up losing 6-0. Head coach Corey Hirsch sat him back down. So hopefully he's, you know, he's okay. U.S. with it. Jones down deep. Advanced into the zone by Fredrickson. Fredrickson along the far boards over to Jones. Back to the point. Long shot from Melillo. Wide. Poked up Nicky into the corner. Intercepted by the U.S. Now corralled by the Slovaks. Revash has it. Far boards. Dumped in by the Slovaks. Oravec giving chase. Oravec so strong on the ball. Oravec centering attempt. Still with the ball. Back to the point. Shot blocked. Good block there by Vinny Tumanello, getting foot on that one. Slovakia goes back to regroup. Olenek has it for Slovakia. Tries to dump it himself and give chase. Beaten on the play by Michael Andis. Andis rattles it up around the far boards. Melillo unable to advance it. Sent back down in. Stefanka with it. Stefanka tried to center it. Hit the back of the net. Over to the point to Palaka. Good stick work there again by the United States. Bergamasco ends up getting it out of the zone. Slovakia regains the zone. Long shot. Goes off the backboard side of the net. Carter saw it the whole way. Walking out in front. Shot blocked again. Rebound score. Slovakia gets number 2. After, I believe, Vinny Tumanello blocked that initial shot. And then the ball just went right back onto the stick of the Slovakian player. And those are the types of breaks you need to climb right back into the game. Now we got ourselves a hockey game here. It's 4-2, right? You've heard me say it on any game I broadcasted. 2-goal leads, worst lead in sports. So I'm sure head coach Corey Hirsch is not going to have his team sit on this and try and protect it against a powerhouse like Slovakia. Take a look at the replay here. The ball's behind the net, comes out in front. There's the shot, blocked, and then the rebound. Comes right back to number 46, Yaroslav Martinusik. Buries his own rebound. Ball is pinned between a couple of feet down there. Referee asking him to move it. Now it's kicked loose. Drew Albright with it behind the net. Trying to stick handle out of trouble, he does. Albright over to Malloy, center attempt, over to Morgan, shot, good save by Budnicki. Boy, Morgan trying to pick the corner there. Smart move on his part, but Dubnicki making himself big, keeping his team in it. Dumped in down deep. So Martin Nusik's goal was assisted by Stefanka. Tomasz Stefanka on the assist as the United States gains the zone now. Long shot, easily waffled aside. Battle along the boards. A lot of jostling. Ball kicked out behind the net. Slovakia picks it up. Solaka going back now to pick it up, number 36, up to the near boards to Olenek. Cross floor pass. Slovakia chips it into the zone. U.S. beats him to it, hustling back. Connor Callahan will open the scoring on the day. Picked up by Jordan Albright. Now the U.S. potentially with numbers here if they continue this momentum. No, good stick work on the part of the Slovak defender there. Poke checking it away. Slovakia at the point. Shot. Stick to side by Carter. Saw that the whole way. Picked up by Jordan Albright. Albright with it. U.S. getting some fresh legs out. Corey Wilson giving chase. As the U.S. finishes their line change here with 10 minutes, 15 seconds remaining. Slovakia patient through the neutral zone here. Chipped up, and it ends up hitting a stanchion, and we will get a face-off in the neutral zone. Well, good effort there on the part of number 17, Josef Minorak for Slovakia. I mean, he had the right idea. He's going to try and beat the U.S. player, get a good forecheck going. Where Slovakia has had some success. 10:03 remaining here, U.S. up 4-2. And we get an offsides call. Face-off will come back into the neutral zone. Face-off won back by Slovakia. Shot blocked down by the U.S. Taken back by Andis. Andis still with it all the way around the boards. Now he's hemmed in. Shot goes wide. That's going to rattle all the way around out of the zone here. Two U.S. players giving chase. Bergamasco and Tumanello. As the ball is going to end up on the stick of Drew Albright. U.S. looking to gain the zone here. Albright gets deflected up high off the glass. Albright with it. Trying to walk it out in front. Ball still loose. Poke checked onto the stick of Boris Orovec. Got a 1-on-2 here. Levesque with it. Levesque bodied in by Orovec. Taken back by Malloy. Up along the glass and then ends up rolling up out of play. 9 minutes, 5 seconds remaining here in our first men's quarterfinal match of the day. U.S. leading Slovakia, former four-time in a row world champion from 2013 to 2019. Face off one back by the Americans, picked up by Sion. Over to Carter. Carter looking for an outlet, doesn't have it. Back to Dutney. Dutney gives it back to Carter. And as Eddie Urban comes back to help out, Urban up along the boards to Dutney. Slovakia pressing here. They've got three in the forward zone. Chip forward by the United States. Steve Sion giving chase. Sion trying to play the body there. Both players lose their footing. Mike Malloy picks it up. Malloy has it. Malloy looking to feed it to somebody. Can't. Dumps it down deep to Sion. Sion was trying to center attempt there to Ruiz. Now Johnny steals it on a nice stick lift. Walks on front, score! The captain, Johnny Ruiz! What a hustle play. Stick lifted the Slovakian player. and then walked it out in front of Dubnicki, put it onto the backhand, and now the United States retakes a 3-goal lead. What a play by Ruiz. 8:22 remaining. The United States back in control of this game. You know, folks, you hear it all the time, right? I think the original quote is often attributed to John Madden. You know, big players make big plays in big games, and if there was ever a perfect example of that, it's this one right here by Johnny Ruiz. Look at that, avoids the poke check from Dubnicki, right onto the backhand. Has a shot on net from Carter. Rebound goes wide. Another shot goes wide. I think that first shot caught Carter a little by surprise, as Jordan Albright potentially trying to get a breakout here. He does, 2-on-1. Unable to get the shot off there. Number 93, Connor Callahan, passes a little behind him. Picked up by Levesque. Levesque dumps it off back down deep to Melillo. So Johnny Ruiz with 4 points on this game. The captain leading by example. Chipped up out of the zone by Fredrickson, giving chase is Brandon Jones. Jones, good hustle play. Back to the point to Fredrickson, down low, over to Corey Wilson, down deep to Albright. Albright hemmed in. Slovakian player loses her footing, good pinch by Fredrickson. Fredrickson looking for an outlet, up to Jones. Back to the point, softly into the corner. Approaching the 7-minute mark. Fredrickson, centering attempt, had the right idea. Jones unable to redirect that into the back of the net. Good look at the net there, though, by the United States. Slovakia getting some wholesale changes as the United States making some behind the scenes as well. 6:45 remaining. Dumped into the far corner, picked up by Carter. Over to Tuminello, chipped up along the boards. This is going to be a hustle play. Persischetti beats the flooring call. Center attempt went off of a stick, picked up by the Slovaks. Shot goes off of, I believe, the knee of Dutney into the corner. Gathered up by the Slovaks. Center attempt shot just wide. Picked up by Persischetti to get this out of the zone. He does. U.S. potentially with numbers here. Persischetti has a trailer. Back to Tuminello. Persischetti chooses not to shoot. Takes it behind the net. Over to Dutney. Dutney walking it out alone, looking for a spot. The pick shot. Oh, just goes high over the crossbar on the backhand. Nice move by Dutney. Good stick work by Slovakia here. Center attempt. That's going to end up on a flooring call. Well, they had the right idea there. Number 46, Yaroslav Bartanusik, would have been streaking in all alone. However, flooring call. So Slovakia now has to send some tired players back out onto the floor. The United States will get some fresh legs out, try and take advantage of it with 5:52 remaining. Face-off picked up by the Slovaks. Dumped into the offensive zone. Slovakia with possession now, a long shot wide. Stefanik with it. Stefanik tried to get that on net. Ended up going off the stick of Mike Malloy high up into the mesh netting. And we get a timeout. Head coach Milan Rapacek wants to rally the troops. He's got the marker board in his hand, as does head coach Corey Hirsch. 30-second timeout.
Ladies and gentlemen, where are the fans in the crowd in the stands? Let's make some noise.
Okay, we're back from the timeout. See what Slovakia does after head coach and former national team player Milan Rampacek rallied them up. Big draw coming up here. They have an empty net. Big gamble by Rampacek. 6 on 5. Face off, one back by Slovakia, but then misplayed, picked up by the United States. Worgen giving chase. Corralled by the Slovaks. Slovakia looking to gain the zone. Fans on the attempt. Now they have the zone. Rifled around. It's going to be stopped by Carter. Played over to Malloy. Chipped up along the boards over to Drew Albright. Good stick work by Slovakia. They're back. Hand pass. Slovakia can't touch it or be... Nope. Referee's going to blow it dead now because obviously if you're the United States and you know that the offending team can't touch the ball, they simply wouldn't touch it and time would run out. So the referees obviously know that. So once they see that the United States realizes that, then as just like they do at the NHL level, they will blow the play dead. Face-off comes back out to the neutral zone. Face-off won by the U.S. Will they get the clear? Drew Albright. No, bad outlet attempt. Chance for Slovakia. What a save, Carter! On his belly. Boy, I'll tell you, this guy's just been something else this game. Shot, one-timer, trickles through the 5-hole. And Slovakia, the gamble pays off on the empty net. They make it a 2-goal game. Have to see on the replay if that was deflected. It hit something because it went in the net very slowly. Just waiting for the replay here to see who they give the goal to as Dubnyk heads back in the net. Face-off won by the Americans. So there's the shot. I don't think it was deflected. No, it just went off the inside of Carter's pad. Slovakia gains the zone. Picked up by the captain Ruiz. Dumped back behind the net for Carter. Carter has it. Tries to backhand it out of the zone. He does. Flooring on the play. So your goal scorer is Andre Straka. Number 44, one of the tournament leading scorers. He was assisted by Korbash and Pijak. Slovakia has pulled Dubnyk again, so here we go. 6 on 5 for Slovakia, 4 minutes, 17 seconds left. Referee providing some instructions now. Referee ready for the draw. Face-off won by Slovakia, trying to walk it in all alone. Chipped ahead by Albright. He's got an empty net. Score! Jordan Albright. United States retakes the 3-goal lead. Empty netter. That's Albright's 3rd point of the day. 2nd goal. He's also got a helper on Levesque's goal. Well, you can't criticize Rampacek, right? I mean, it worked when he pulled the goalie the first time, but yeah, that's the gamble. That's part of hockey, right? Trying to do what it takes to win the game here. You're running out of time as Dubnyk heads back into the net. And Jordan Albright not going to miss from that distance. He's a goal scorer's goal scorer. United States ends up taking possession in their own zone. Carter along the boards, up to Persischetti, bodied off the ball, picked up by Carter. Carter with it, looking for an outlet play. Tries to go high, does. Orovec unable to jump up and bat that down, keep it in the attacking zone. Long shot, easily sticked aside by Carter. Corner for Persischetti, over to Andis. Andis dumps it over to Manello. Up along the boards to Bergamasco, backhanding it out. Rifled in, wide of the net. U.S. trying to gain possession, they do. Worgen with it. Worgen dumps it back into his own zone. Up to Malloy. Malloy with it. Albright's goal, they don't have an assist right now on it. It's unassisted. And Slovakia takes possession here. 2 minutes, 50 seconds remaining. Long shot in, and play is offsides. So that will not count as a shot on net. 2 minutes, 42 seconds remaining. Well, I believe we're getting a video review here. One of the referees went into the video scope booth, as the Macho Man Randy Savage used to like to call it. Turn to the video scope. Empty net again for Slovakia. I don't have a spotter with me up here in the booth, folks. Up here in the bird box, just by myself. Obviously surrounded by a bunch of ISBHF and tournament organizing committee volunteers. So I can't tell you what's going on down when they do video reviews if it's not inherently obvious. Referee giving an explanation right now to the U.S. player. I think that, yeah, it is Corey Wilson. Also known as the nose face killer for all you Barstool Sports Chicklets Cup fans. Corey, been owning them for several years. Very proud of Corey for doing that, right? Ball hockey is Corey's sport. One of the smartest players ever in the United States to pick up the stick. Former men's GM George Tarantino had a nickname for Corey, the human hockey IQ. I don't know if he still has that nickname, but we get another whistle. I've had the pleasure of playing with and against Corey, and yes, to call him the human hockey IQ is absolutely accurate. Credit to Mr. Tarantino. I know he's watching back home. Along with his wife. Hey, credit to his wife, right? Alexis Tarantino, 2023 ISBHF Volunteer of the Year. She did a heck of a job for us up in Buffalo at the 2023 Masters, where George is the head coach of the silver medal winning team. The United States lost in that epic game, shootout to Canada. As Dubnicki heads back to the net, but now turnover in the neutral zone. Slovakia almost had too many men on the floor there because Dubnicki was not off the floor yet. 2 minutes, 20 seconds remaining. Slovakia desperately trying to find an answer here to avoid being bounced in the quarterfinals for the second tournament in a row after winning 4 gold medals in a row. I know head coach Rampacek has overhauled this roster after 2022. This is his first tournament as head coach. So they do have, you know, a younger roster, not as young as Great Britain and Switzerland. They're the two youngest teams in the tournament. I mean, they have some veterans here like Rizak and Orovec. But they're just looking for an answer and running out of time as the United States going to get another empty netter here. Here comes Levesque, shot, score. And that will put a ribbon on this one. 7-3 United States. Nikola Levesque gets his second. See who they give the assist to. Listen, you know, I know I'm speaking to obviously mostly an American audience here, but on the off chance that there are some Slovakian fans, you got nothing to hang your head about, man. You know, listen, you can't win them all, right? You know, Canada ran off 4 in a row in the 2000s, right, under head coach George Gortsos. Czech Republic won a couple in a row. It's just hard to win, man. It's just hard to win. You know, and the fact that Slovakia was able to put together a roster and keep it healthy for 4 World Championships in a row, like Canada did, is nothing short of incredible. So you're about to, you know, lose here in the quarterfinals, you know, to a great USA team, has a lot of talent on it. They're 2022 bronze medalists. You know, lost to the Czechs in the semifinals, ended up beating Greece, who beat Slovakia, you guys, in the quarterfinals in Laval. You got nothing to hang your head about, man. You just, by the time you get to this deep end of the pool, as my best friend Chris Banks from Buffalo likes to say, winning is hard. You just can't win them all. You know, sometimes the bounces don't go your way. Sometimes they do, as Carter makes another save here under a minute remaining. So, you know, use this as a building block, right? And I'm sure that's what head coach Milan Rampacek is going to do, is say, guys, listen, right? You know, it takes time to learn how to win. Don't hang your heads, right? Keep them held high. We're going to come back, you know, in our placement game, and we're going to give it 101%, right? Just like everybody back home expects them to do in Slovakia. And if you're the United States, if I'm head coach Corey Hurst, I'm taking these guys to the locker room saying, listen, that's the team, you know, that I assembled that I know can play really, really good high-level ball hockey with any other team in the world. Keep doing what you're doing. The way you played in that game, that's the way you got to play. Got 2 more games to go here. Keep it going. Run hard every shift when you get your opportunities, right? Make sure you make smart decisions with the ball. Make sure if you have an opportunity to finish, right? Look at what Johnny and Jordan and Nikola did here, right? You finish. And if you're one of the people that had helpers on the day, right? You see a guy streaking open, right? Get him to pass in a position where he can put it on net. You know, United States did a lot of things right today that the coaching staff, you know, Corey Hirsch, assistant coach, Tom Ruiz, assistant coach, former USA men's national player, you know, renowned men's national player, Bill Sullivan, you know, he was part of a gold medal winning team in 2006 in the juniors. The first time the USA ever won gold. He was part of the 2015 silver medal winners in Zug, right? You know, you tell this team, you did a lot of things right today, right? Take those habits into the next couple of games. Because it's only going to get harder, right? This is the first elimination game. So high sticking penalty on Slovakia, just for the record there's 10 seconds left. I'm sure the United States is going to take this back into their zone and walk it off. They will. They're going to go over and congratulate Carter. That'll be the end of this as the United States advances to play in the semifinals. At a minimum, they will compete for the bronze medal depending on how they do in the semifinals, so they will have a chance to compete for some hardware for Slovakia. Obviously a disappointing result. But as I said, nothing to hang your head about. You've overhauled your roster. Winning is hard. Apologize if you hear me coughing, folks. I'm doing my best to keep that to a minimum. Putting a lot of stress on the vocal cords here, being the only play-by-play announcer. But getting back to Slovakia, hey, keep your heads high, right? Play hard in the next game, and, you know, continue to build, right? For the United States, take all the good things you did in this game, which is very similar to your first game of the tournament and the first 2 periods against Finland, where you guys, you know, you look like world beaters, and take that into the next game. You don't know who you're going to face yet, right? There'll be a reseeding based on how things shake out. So the next game will be Czech Republic, the number 2 seed, you know, facing Haiti. As chance of USA breakout. Got Greece taking on Switzerland, and then you got Canada taking on Finland. So you don't know who you're going to face yet, but stick around, right? Watch those games. And keep each other motivated, you know? Congratulate each other, right? Focus on the positive, and then at the end of the day, right? It's on to tomorrow. On to the next opponent. This one's in the books.
Best player for Team Slovakia is player number 70, Lucas Olejnik.
So, player of the game for Slovakia, number 70, Lucas Olejnik. He had an assist on the day. Congratulations, Mr. Olejnik. As we get it for US, it's got to be Ruiz. Well, I'm going to clap for Johnny at the risk of sounding like a homer here. You know what? The guy deserves it, man. I'm an American. Hey, good for him. That is a leader of men. He's a professional hockey player. He was a captain of the 2014 U20 bronze team. He's an assistant coach in Liberec last year for the juniors. You know, just loves the game, man. Just a really good guy. Nobody has a bad word to say about him. Always gives 100% out on the floor. And then today, here he is out there leading by example, man. I mean, that short-handed goal, that's what you want from your leaders, right? Hustle plays, putting the ball in the back of the net. Congratulations, Johnny. We're going to play the national anthem here.
The national anthem of USA.
And a round of applause from the American fans here as both teams lined up for the traditional post-game handshake. Now, just getting back to, you know, how Team USA wraps this one up, right? There's a lot of good to take away from this game. Are there always things to clean up after a game? Of course, right? There's no such thing as a perfect game. You know, I like to think to what Super Bowl winning head coach Andy Reid is very fond of saying, you're never as good as you think you are, and you're never as bad as you think you are. And that's true in hockey. You know, the United States comes out, plays like gangbusters, you know, and they send Slovakia packing here in the quarterfinals, 7-3. There's a lot of good to focus on, but, all right, there's also some things for the coaching staff and the players to clean up. But, hey, focus on the positives, right? Worry about the things you can control, and take those good habits into the next game. I'm sure they're going to stick around and watch these remaining quarterfinal game, as we've seen several players from all the other teams here scouting each other. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. Congratulations again to the United States. That's going to do it for me. Going to rest the vocal cords for the next game. which will be the Czech Republic and Haiti. That game will be broadcast in Slovakian, which most Czech Republic people can understand. Very similar languages, as I mentioned before. It's for American English speakers, it's similar to like Irish and Scottish. That's how I would describe it. So if you want to hear somebody calling it, even though you don't speak their language, give Mr. Nemchek a chance. He's done a great job. He's really given it his all over there. And then after Czechia and Haiti, you'll have Greece and Switzerland. That's going to be a packed house. The hometown Swiss taking on Greece at 6 p.m. local time. And then finishing up the day will be the #1 seed Canada at 8:30 p.m. taking on Finland. So I'll be doing those, potentially both those quarterfinal games. Depends on how my vocal cords feel. May ask ISBHF President Elio Pascuzzo to jump in. Obviously, he has presidential duties, so we'll see if he can jump in. But regardless, folks, we're going to do the best we can to continue to give you an outstanding experience here at the 2024 Worlds. I got to go downstairs, try and get some interviews. Appreciate you joining us. Final score, first men's quarterfinal game of the day. United States your winner.